All right. Big Celtics win tonight in a game that was neck and neck basically from the tip off. The Celtics and 76ers have obviously had a lot of battles over the years, and this being the NBA's 75th season, it only made sense that their first meeting of the year would be a really entertaining game. And it was, if you like defense, which I do. Very defensive minded game. Look at the final score, 88 to 87. That's not a typical score you see in the modern NBA. But again, just because it was low scoring didn't mean it wasn't very entertaining. I mean, the teams were really separated by about 2 or 3 points throughout the game, back and forth. It was virtually dead even, and the Celtics are able to pull it out, thanks in part to not just their defense throughout the game, but their defense on the final possession, as they led by a point with Philadelphia being able to inbound at half court with about 6 seconds left. Celtics did a great job not only defending the inbounds pass, but then forcing the guy who received it, Tobias Harris, to try to kick it to the corner to Korkmaz, who tried to attempt a three to win the game. But Rob Williams was able to get his fingertips on the ball and block it. Really just great team defense on that play, blowing up what the 76ers wanted to do and making it very, very difficult for them to get a good look to win the game, and in fact, blocking that last shot. So credit to the team and credit to Coach Udoka for putting the team in the right position on that last Philadelphia possession to be able to win the game. The Celtics did get some timely baskets from Dennis Schroeder and Jason Tatum starting at the end of this week, where it's going to be a really, really tough series of games. And so when you're at home, you want to bank as many wins as possible. They haven't done a good job so far this season of doing that, but tonight, with a one of their main division rivals coming into town tonight, I mean, he still had pretty good numbers. He didn't shoot the ball well though. Embiid finished with 30. He did get to the free throw line 10 times, only hit 6 of them though, and that's in large part due to what the Celtics' strategy was tonight, which was throwing a bunch of bodies at him. Horford, Rob Williams, Grant Williams, and Ennis Freedom got it right on the first try there. All spent time defending Embiid at different points and throwing different looks at him, and I think that really paid off to throw him off his game, which is usually, I mean, he usually dominates the Celtics. Celtics have been, and he did rebound tremendously and block 3 shots, but hang in and win the game, which is something they haven't shown a lot this year. I'm not saying this is a turning point in the season or any reason to say, okay, I'm suddenly really, really high on the Celtics, but it's definitely a good sum, and that the 76ers had to be wary of that alley oop pass, and that really opens up the floor for the rest of the Celtics. So, very good game from Rob. Marcus Smart, 32 minutes, 2 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 3 from three, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 6 points. Not a big offensive game from Marcus Smart, but he played very solid defense. Was asked to check Maxey a lot. Maxey only finished with 6 points tonight and 3 of 13 shooting. So that's a direct result of Marcus Smart being very good on the defensive end tonight and going 33 minutes for Jalen, 3 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 4 from three, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and just 9 points for Jalen, who still looks like he's dealing with, coming back from that ankle injury. He just still hasn't looked right. So Jalen Brown still's got a little ways to go before he gets going. Off the bench tonight for the Celtics, Grant Williams played 15 minutes. Points. Dennis Schroeder, 30 minutes off the bench, 4 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Him tonight, 20 minutes for Josh, 3 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 3. 1 point. Every single point matters. So I think solid, very solid win for the Celtics tonight, win that they can feel good about. And always nice to beat Philadelphia, division rival that the Celtics have seen in the play. Beat your rivals. That's goes without saying. So we can Celtics can feel good about that win, and now they head out west for their annual west on Friday. Utah, obviously, the Clippers, and then a week from Friday they have the hottest team in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns, who have just won their 17th game in a row last night against the Warriors. I don't know if anybody stayed up to watch that, but it was a great game. Talked about it a lot on my Pick and Roll NBA podcast, Jet and Sap, which is also on this YouTube channel if you want to check out our recap of that game last night. But yeah, a very, very tough slate of games for the Celtics coming up. And then, surprise, once you get home, you play Milwaukee and Golden State. So it's not going to get any easier once you get home. This month, we've been saying it for a while. December is what we're going to find out what the Celtics are made of. Tonight was a good way to get started on the first day of the month. Get a win, get a tough win, and do it defensively. So we'll see how the Celtics fare on this West Coast road trip, but I'm paying close attention, and I'll be here for all those games. So make sure you check me out here. Thank you to Leonard in the chat. Thank you to everybody in the chat and watching. Leonard, I know you said pleasant surprise to see the Celtics win. Also, Time Lord, yeah, huge block by Rob Williams at the end. And you're saying defense has been pretty consistent. Now the team has to figure out their offense, which is inconsistent. Very true. The defense, after the beginning of the year, the defense has really picked up, and you can't criticize it that much. The offense has been wildly inconsistent, and that has to do a lot with Jason Tatum's shooting, a lot of different guys in and out of the lineup, with Jaylen Brown being hurt. But yeah, the Celtics need to find some consistency in their offense. They certainly didn't find that tonight. They just had it really in Jason Tatum, but uh, but their defense was outstanding tonight. So if you, I do think in the NBA it's easier uh, to first establish your defensive identity, and the offense will come. These guys all know how to score. So establishing a defensive identity should be the hard part. So hopefully the Celtics can figure out some sort of offensive identity outside of let's just give the ball to Jason Tatum and get out of the way. We'll see. We'll see if they're able to do that on their West Coast road trip. But I'll be back on Friday as the Celtics take on the Utah Jazz and head out west. So some of these shows are going to be later if you're used to seeing it, because the West Coast is 3 hours back. There's a little information, a little nugget for you there. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.